What's up? What's up? Welcome back, everyone, for another recap video. Today we had some movers today. Some of the stocks that were moving were PALI, REVB, ONMD, and RVSN. But I focused in on one stock and really dialed in on PALY right out of the open, and I absolutely just killed it today. I'm up $1,000, $1,003.81, which is my biggest day ever. First day that I am up 4 figures, which is absolutely insane. I remember, when I first started that, thinking that $1,000 day was just such a huge challenge that I didn't think that I'd ever surmount to making $1,000 in a day. At that time, I was just struggling just to even make $100 a day, and here we are, 3.5 years into the journey of trading, learning how to trade, getting better, blood, sweat, and tears, and here I am, first day over $1,000. So super stoked, and this goal was in my mind for a good 2 years. I was shooting for this goal for a good 2 years, and I thought 2023, halfway through 2023, it was like my goal. Like my goal was, all right, gotta have that 1K day in 2023, and the market kind of slowed down a little bit, and I was going through some changes in my personal life, and so I never really put the pedal to the metal to really make that amount of money trading. And then come around 2024, went through some changes in my personal life, and now in a much more stable place to really dial in on trading and put everything that I got into trading. And so far this month, first month of the year, this has been my, so far, month's not over yet, but it's been my best month of my career. Best month of my career so far, and best day of my career as well. I've been a lot more consistent this month, and my consistency is great, and also my profit has been reaching heights that I usually have not seen before in a consistent manner. So here I can pull up my calendar. So very consistent so far in January, but the consistency is, with some decent days, 200, 300, 400, 200, 100, 100. Got some small green days in here, small red days in here, 200, 600, 1,000. So hitting those upper areas in my profits a lot more consistently, which is good. And now I feel like it just cracked the ceiling, my glass ceiling. I've always felt that I've had a glass ceiling in my progress for a good 2 years. A good 2 years, I felt like I just had a glass ceiling that I just could not bust out. And no matter how much I tried, if I sized up, the day that I wanted to size up, it would be cold, or the day that I did size up, I'd take a big loss. It would be my biggest loss ever. And then I get down on myself, and then I would size down because out of fear, and then that would influence my trading for a good few months, and then I finally work up that courage to size up again and try, and then take another big loss and ruin my confidence for a good 2 or 3 months, and then sizing back down, and then mustering up the courage again, and after a few months and trying again, and then failing, and then here we are today. It seemed to all kind of come together with my trading, and I know a lot of things have changed as well. Maybe I just wasn't ready at those moments in the past. Maybe I wasn't ready to see this sort of results. Maybe because of my strategy was just not fully dialed in. I just did not fully understand what I was doing, or maybe in a risk perspective, maybe I wasn't managing my risk appropriately, which caused me to not really be consistent, not have that confidence, and not see through the losses. So, 50% of my trades are red trades. So you have to be able to see through the losses. And there's been a couple of times, today, where I did take like $100 loss, and or $150 loss, and instead of sizing down, I kept the size and saw through the losses. I didn't get lost in the 1 to 2 cent loss, but I was focused on the bigger picture, looking to get that 5 or 6 cent gain, and understanding that even though I did take a loss, I do take losses even in the midst of the loss. Look for that next opportunity, and there's always going to be another opportunity around the corner. You just have to be ready. Can't be down on yourself. Can't beat yourself up. And if you have a consistent strategy, and you're making money month over month, week over week, you need to size up. You need to size up, because how much longer are you going to go with subpar results, knowing that you can do much better? And that is the issue that I've been having. Is like I knew that I could do better. But my fear of failure, my fear of loss, all of those things came into play of creating that glass ceiling and limiting my potential, limiting my results. And today I finally bust through, and it's about time, man. It's about freaking time. It's about time. First 4-figure day. I remember when I crossed over to 4-figure day, I was like, you know what? I'm like, this is going to be it. When I crossed over about 750, when I was up about 750, I was like, today's going to be the day. I feel it. Today's going to be the day. Even when before the market opened, I could tell I was in a big state. I could sense I was in a state of receptivity. And that is actually, I've noticed in myself, whenever I have big days, I'm always in a state of receptivity. I'm open to the market. I'm open to what the market gives me, the setups. I'm patient. I'm not grasping at straws. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just in a state of open receptivity, and that allows me to kind of see the market clearer. And I've noticed that today, and I feel like that's really how I was able to stay so clear-minded and not get into the state of, oh my God, I'm up $500. Let me size down to protect this profit. But instead, keeping that share size up and continuing to trade while the market is giving me the setups that I am performing well on. Because to be up $500 means that I'm doing something right, and I should continue to do what I'm doing and maybe even size up. So it's a big mental game, and being in a state of receptivity and openness to the market is big. I feel like traders are very intuitive, and I think that we can really sense, what kind of state we're in mentally, to know whether or not we're in a state of, open and receptivity of the markets, and being open to setups, and being open to, being patient and waiting for the setups to come to us, and also, accepting losses and stuff. And then also, when we wake up and we're in a state of anxiety, and we're trying to force everything, and we're trying to minimize losses as so much as possible, that we're taking bad trades, that we're not getting in the right entry because of fear of trying to avoid every single trade or every single loss. There's no possible strategy out there that you can avoid every single loss. You can't avoid every loss. You have to get into a state of openness and accepting the risk, and from there you can make good trades from that state of mind. And that's something that I've noticed over some time of just analyzing my mindsets coming into each day. There's some days where I'm very anxious, some days I'm forcing it, and I don't do very well on those days. And there's some days I wake up, I'm very open, really receptive to the market, and those days I'm able to perform a lot better. So that's also something to keep in mind, is your mindset every single day. And that's why a lot of traders like to do that temperature check. What's your temperature check? Are you a 9 out of 10? Are you a 1 out of 10? A lot of traders like to do that before they start trading. But anyways, let's go into the recap, or the live recording. Everyone's waiting for the live recording. So I liked PALI. It did have news. It had a small float, and you know, it was over $1. I like stocks that are over $1, but they're not trading sub pennies. So I like that the spread is 1 cent, 18 by 19. I don't like when it's 18.2525 whatever by 18.4625. You know, I don't like when it's so tight on the sub pennies. I actually do very, very bad on PHUN and all those penny stocks that we got last week and or the week before. Like, I did absolutely trash. I did trash on all of them. I don't like them just because of the amount of shares you got to churn for like a tenth of a penny, and I just don't perform well on it. But this one I like because it had an actual 1 cent spread. You know, we're moving pennies at a time. I feel like I'm just a lot more able to manage the risk and a lot more able to even read the tape. Read the tape in the level 2. The level 2 is a lot more clearer when it's like this. When it's sub pennies, it's just so crowded and so choppy. But anyways, let's go in here. Okay, and okay, so I got my 1 share, testing my 1 share. I already got in and got out, I think. Okay, got in 3,000. Let me move that. So it looks like a quick dip. I was trying to catch the dips there, but I had actually some losses on there. 6,000 shares for maybe a penny and a half. So maybe about $50 or so loss, or no, $90 or so. Got in there for a quick pop there for that pre-market. So it's sort of like a bull flag we got here, and it looks like we squeezed through the highs, and I was able to get a nice trade. But the first portion I took off a little bit too soon. I could have held that a little bit more. So I was in, 4,000. Sold some for a 1 penny loss and sold the rest of the half for a 4 cent win. So pretty decent trade there. So, you know, I see that it's got really good volume profile. It's at 3 million shares per 1 minute candle. Now I do like this. Let's catch this quick pullback. Oh, not yet. I think there's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit too soon there. Need to wait for that pullback. Here it comes. Boom. And 3,000 shares at 23. Looks like it sold half at 27 or 25. Got back in for that rest of the half at 27. Added again at 29 and then sold on this extension here. This is probably my biggest trade of the day. Still holding 750 shares, but I was in about 6,000. Squeezing through 130. So very decent trade. Yeah, very nice trade there. I think I made about 400 on that. It's coming down again. Got back in 3,000 at 26 out of 26. So break even there. Took another dip at 23 out of 23. So these are break even scalps. There we go. So it looks like we broke. Looks like we double bottomed there at the previous pre-market high. We also have the 90 EMA support there. Looks like I'm in 3,000 shares at 23. Bid showing 25. I'm 2 cents in the money here. 3 cents, 4 cents in the money on 6,000 shares. And added again. So it looks like I'm just adding here. So let's take a look here. Got that double bottom. So I'm just risking the low here. I'm risking 23. Risking break even. I'm in at 123.99. I'm risking 23. If it comes back to 23, I'm out. I'm in 2 cents in the money. Adding into my winners here. 6,000 shares. Adding again. I'm looking for the reclaim here of this wick. 9,000 shares. Looks like I took some off there at the high at 127, 128, which is actually, well, one portion is break even. The rest is for a small gain there. Now I got back in at 131, so I should have really just held that. Got back in at 131, 3,000 shares. I'm in 6,000 shares. And taking it off for a nice 3 cent gain on that one. Still holding that original entry down there too from 123. So I'm up 10 cents there. It's another $300 winner there. on that last portion. I'm waiting for that break, but you don't quite get it. So I take off half there. Yeah, it looks like a little weak down there. The volume's a little bit lower. Looks like we're double topping there. I should be taking it off. So I took it off. Very nice trade again. So at this point now I'm up like 750, 800 bucks here. 3 minutes into the open, up 750, 800 bucks. Very nice start of the day. Very nice. And these are picture perfect. This is where I perform the best time of day, and this is where I should be taking the biggest size of the day. So, moving forward, I should be, huge size, my biggest size of the day between 9:30 and 9:45. If it's a hot day, keep it hot. Keep the size high till 10, and then start to fade. The last thing I want to do is small size at 9:30, small size at 9:45, small size at 10, and then I'm up only like 150 bucks, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just hang on to this 150 bucks and come back tomorrow, and then something starts ripping, and then I'm up now trying to size up, and now I'm mentally all messed up because I'm like, I gotta hold on to this profit, but we have something moving, but it's 10:30, it's almost 11 o'clock, and then it completely screws up your psychology. So if market's hot, I want to be big size where I do the best, and then slowly fade off for the rest of the day. I don't want to have like kind of ups and downs, because then you can get into the trap of trading for 3 hours, and then for the last hour of your trading, you give back all your profits. That's what you don't want. And a lot of traders do that. And I just can't deal with the mental aspect of that, of working all day, and then the last 30 minutes, you give it all back. Here, squeeze to the high, not yet. So break-even trade there is in 4,000 share increments, so that's not too bad. 4,000 shares at 133. Looks like we're going to dip again here. Yeah, but my best days are definitely when I start out of the gates, I'm strong into the green. I rarely go from like huge green to huge red. Usually it's like 1%, less than 1% of my days. So got a quick dip there at 29. Off the EMA. Back over 30. Only in 2,000 shares, but about 40 bucks, 40, 50 bucks here. Looks like I take that off for 30, you got $30 win or so. And here is this extension. This is where I should have kept that 4,000 share size. This is where I should have kept that 4,000 share size, and I could be up more than I am today. But it does work out to be a false breakout. Dipping down here, waiting for the dip. I want to see a dip to like 120, 120-ish. So we get that dip down to 123, not quite low enough. I want even lower than that, but we don't get it. 128, it looks like I took it off for a 1 cent loss there. So coming down again, want to be patient on this dip because there is that support and resistance line right there. So now it's acting as support, but I'm thinking that we could test it one more time. So I'm being patient. I'm not jumping in yet. So you even want to trade low or high right here as you're in kind of a no man's land. If we can break down lower, then maybe take a dip for a potential reclaim, or you get in through the high like right here for the break of the previous 1 minute candle high. Try to catch that breakout. This is a break or bailout trade here. Whenever you're trading near the highs, my strategy is always breakout or bailout. I don't want to be hanging on too long, being too patient, because if it's being taken too long at the high, it likely means that it's weak, and it likely means that it's going to dump. I do not want to be stuck in a dump. So curling back up there, 1,000, only 1,000, man. This is. I should be in 3,000 at least, 3,000 each increments. So I'll be in 6,000 shares and ready. Watch this. We ripped up to the high, and that's a nice 6-cent trade. 6-cent trade. So I left about another $200 or $300 on the table there. But it turned out to be a false breakout. Turns out to be a false breakout. But still, I would have gotten out in time. So now, after that strong false breakout, I'm looking for a break of this here. Because there's people trapped in here. There's people panicking out. It should come below this level. If it doesn't, then it's actually strong. But for the dip entry, I'm looking down here. And ready for the dip entry. Boom. Right there. As soon as it hesitates there, you can take a look at it again. It's coming down, coming down, coming down. It is 20 cents coming down within one candle, and we're moving down fast. And you can kind of feel it starts to get heavy at the bottom. You can kind of feel the low. Get in there, risking break even. This is a risking break even trade. Do not want to hold this. Well, you can scale out. Some people like to scale out because sometimes it does curl back to the high, but there was a nice trade there. In 121.99 and out 123. Here's another low here, but I don't take this one because the halt down level is 116. And what I know about my strategy is my biggest losses ever are taking the panic dip into a halt down. So now I'm extra keen on keeping an eye on this low LULD, which is limit up, limit down. So this is limit down, LD. Keeping a fine eye on this LD area because I do not want to catch a dip into a halt down, because those are my absolute wreckage sorts of trades. I will wreck my month. I've had so many bad trades on those. So I'm always keeping an eye on that. If we even come close, I am pause off. I take my hands off the buy button, because there's even been multiple times where I was like, don't buy the dip. Don't buy the dip. It's going to halt down. It's going to halt down. And just out of instinct, just reaction, I buy into a halt down. It's happened so many times. So I don't do that anymore. If it's close to the halt down, I am pause off. I am very pause off. Because if it halts down, it could likely open up at like 105, $1. You can be taking a big loss. So it looks like we have that bottoming tail there. Trying to catch maybe a pop back up, but it's not as, that's an aggressive trade. I guess it wasn't really that strong yet. And let's see here. I don't think I did take any more trades in this area. This was okay. I thought this was a bit early to catch this. The entry here was back over this area, this candle here at 128. So the entry, I guess you can get in there, but it's a little bit hesitant. It's a little bit hesitant. Yeah, I knew why I didn't get in there. It did look a little bit hesitant. Yeah, it did not seem very convincing here, actually. It was taking a while. So I see why I didn't get in there. A lot of longs actually got trapped here. A lot of longs got trapped here. Longs got trapped FOMOing right here, just like I did. FOMOing into the high, I think it's going to squeeze through 143. A lot of longs took some losses here. Buying literally right here, and it's going to come all the way back down to 128. So I took what, 4 cents? I mean, I'm only trading 1,000 shares now. So 4 cents right there, 1 cent there, so $50 on that surge there. I think that's sort of a luckier trade too. Here I'm thinking we can finally see that breakout. So I'm trying to buy, but it's breakout or bailout. Remember, breakout or bailout. A lot of people got stuck here too. All right, we're turning green here. You know, if it's strong, it's a surge right up here, right here, right now, right now, up to 143, up to 150. But you see how weak it is. You have this nice bid here. So risk off that bid. There's 60,000 shares there. 70,000 shares there at 136. Risk off that bid. So you get in here. If it doesn't immediately go, you're out. And there we go. That bid is gone. You need to be out. You need to be out. Wait for the next bullish signal. You don't want to be holding near the highs so long. Time exposure near the highs is detrimental. Absolutely can destroy you. And here it comes. Here it comes. Actually, no, that's not the dump I was looking for. We finally do get it here. So you see that ask right there, getting chipped away. You buy into that. Being patient here, being patient here. Almost was a false breakout. So I took my quick couple cent gain there, got back in for the break of the high at 144, out at 146. That was another $40 trade there. Now I'm up to like 950 or something on the day. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Am I going to get to 1,000? Am I going to get to 1,000? I remember I was like telling myself, just be calm, stay cool, stay collected, it'll happen. Yeah, here's where a lot of longs got trapped too. I bought the dip here too, but I was able to get out. See, I bought the dip there, 143. I'm risking break even. That's 144. Adding into the highs, trying to get that break up and surge up to 150. Taking it off, we do break by like a couple tenths of a penny, and then I take it off because we don't surge right up. But that was a decent trade there too. It's another like 60 bucks. I'm thinking we're gonna get that break at 150. A lot of longs thought we were getting that break at 150, but you know, I wasn't that aggressive. Now we're pulling back. Now I'm thinking, all right, we can see one more pullback and then another test for 150. That's what I was thinking. So I come back, so it comes back down here. I take the dip and it's coming down hard. So I get out immediately. And that was a 3-cent loss. 3.5 cent loss. So this is what we're talking about. You got to cut your losses quick, man. I was immediately in the red in this trade, so I immediately got out. I was not giving it any room, you know. My best trades are the trades where I'm immediately in the green. So if I'm immediately in the red, I got to get the hell out. Because if the stock's going lower, just buy it lower. You know, if you know the price, if it's going lower, sell your position here and then get in at a lower price. That's the mindset of this hyper scalping strategy. All right, so I think, okay, that could be the low. I was like, all right, that could be the low. I'm in at 138, out at break even, or 137.5. So it didn't immediately pop up. And I avoided a 10 cent, 12 cent, 13 cent loss there. Got back in at 24, out at 27 for a quick dip. This is the panic dip buy. This is actually high risk, but because we're still on this upper ascending support, I was buying the dip. And that was pretty much it. I had a couple small scalps in here, made like, you know, a couple bucks. I think the trade here was what brought me into the green. So we dipped down here, and I was thinking, all right, we had this huge dump. We have some support in here. So 105-ish, 107-ish. We had this huge dump, another dump. What's the chances of we're going to get a third dump when we have support right here? We make that new low. Looks like it's rejecting that low. I should be in here for that test back over VWAP or for VWAP. So I get in there, small share size to test it out, adding again at 113, showing 114 on the bid. Looks like we're stalling out there, so I think I take it off here. Say, all right, I'll take my 1 cent. Oh, now we're up 116. Now I'm up 3 cents. It looks like I added 1,000 shares. But that was a little aggressive. We don't quite break through yet. So I get out there as I saw the bids getting chipped. Took out half of my trade there for break even. And I think this was the trade that put me over 1,000. And looks like we're struggling here, so I took it off. Looks like I took it off there. Then I get back in because now it's ripping. That's going back up. I started getting a little sloppy here. But I get there. That was it. This was the trade that brought me my first 1K day. Right here. Trading 1,500 shares. Just looking at this level 2 here. 19's getting chipped. I'm literally trading the level 2 on this. 19's getting chipped. Buying the 19. Look at that bid. 78,000, 800,000 on 118. So I'm risking 118. If this starts to get chipped, I am out. There's 19. 20's getting chipped again. So there we go. Take it off at 120. I could have held and got a couple more cents, but I was like, all right, I'm up 1,000. See ya. First 1K day. I'm done. I ain't risking this shit anymore. I am done, man. I'm taking that profit and I am out of here. Because if I go back under 1,000, I will be fucking here until 8 p.m. trading after hours trying to make that money back. I already know it. So I'm taking my 1,000, first 1K day, and getting the hell out of the market. So tomorrow I am back to zero, just like every single day. We start fresh, back to zero, like nothing ever happened. And that's the beauty of trading. No matter how well you did or how shitty you did, tomorrow is a new day, and tomorrow we're all back to zero. Everyone is back to zero. Everyone starts at the same spot. So, if you had a bad day today, just remind yourself that tomorrow we are back to zero, and we have another shot. So, today is now in my rear view mirror, and, it doesn't have, tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I'm just going to trade what we have in front of us. And yeah, I'm not going to expect too much. Not going to expect too much, but I'm just going to, continue to trade my best every single day, trust myself, and continue to push size. So let's take a look here quick on the stats, and then we can wrap it up here. This is getting to be a long one, but I deserve it. I deserve a nice long video here. You guys deserve a nice long video here because I fought blood, sweat, and tears for this. Blood, sweat, and tears. So after commissions, 981. Total losses, profit factor, pretty decent today. Total winners to losers, about 50-50. Hyper scalping strategy is 50-50. Flip a coin every single time you take a trade. But if you're able to keep those losses small and you're able to hold on to those winners, but if you're able to hold on to those winners, 39 by 13, you got a decent profit margin. You're making some decent profits. And that's the strategy. It's about timing, and it's about discipline of cutting those losses. So that's the crux of this strategy. And I seem to be starting to excel a little bit with this strategy, better than other strategies. So who knows how long, this edge is going to stay alive, but I'm just going to keep riding the wave. Average position cost 2,000, which is pretty decent. I could make that a little bit higher, or just win 325, which is probably one of those opening range trades, which was really good. So that's it. That's the day. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you guys. For those of you who've been around the channel for a while, you guys saw me struggle, man. You guys saw me struggle through thick and thin with the markets, and I can probably say this is one of my biggest accomplishments to date in my entire life. Bigger than graduations, bigger than sports, bigger than anything, because this is me. This is my personal passion. passion. It's my personal passion, just like every one of you guys. And we hold this thing dear. Trading, we hold trading so dearly. And we do need to pat ourselves on the back when we do make accomplishments, because it propels us in the right direction and it gives us motivation and inspiration to keep pushing even farther. So can't beat ourselves up on bad days, and on good days, we have to congratulate ourselves. We have to congratulate on the things that we do well every single day. And that keeps us a nice, healthy mindset. So thanks for tuning in for this recap. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you're still watching. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the pre-market pump, 8:45 a.m. Eastern time. All right, catch you later. Peace.